Hi guys, today I'm going to be looking at the poem A Bird Came Down the Walk. Okay, it's the third poem in your revision pack, and in your Emily Dickinson book it's the poem 328, which can be found on page 46. Okay, so as previously I'm going to be reading the poem out. I'd like you to follow along with me, and then I've chosen a short song that I'll play, and then as the song plays I will be just giving a quick bite-sized summary of the poem, okay, to facilitate your revision. So read along with me, page 46. A bird came down the walk, he did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. And then he drank a dew from a convenient grass, and then hopped sideways to the wall to let a beetle pass. He glanced with rapid eyes that hurried all around. They looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head, like one in danger, cautious. I offered him a crumb, and he unrolled his feathers and rowed him softer home. Then oars divide the ocean, too silver for a seam, or butterflies of banks of noon leap plashless as they swim. Okay, so this poem then is a poem that demonstrates Dickinson's fascination and love of nature. Okay, the speaker is observing a bird and notices the intricate and really fine details of the bird's appearance and also its movements. Okay, so in terms of themes then, where this poem may be relevant, we could talk about it in terms of curiosity. Okay, as I've just mentioned, in terms of curiosity towards nature. Could talk about the beauty of nature, because that's something that she definitely emphasises, and also this idea of mystery. Dickinson is somebody who is excited by the aspect and of mystery. Okay, so these are three possible themes, but please do add to this list as you return to the poem to revise. Okay, so if we go down to our box at the bottom here on our revision page, just to remind you that in the exam you'll be asked to comment on three things: language, imagery and verse form. Okay, so it's a good idea as you read the poem to go into the exam having already in your head selected quotations that you would be comfortable and confident to talk about. Okay, so in terms of language points, what I have extracted from the poem is her use of enjambement. Okay, so remind ourselves that enjambement means when two lines run into each other. Okay, so I've looked at the lines where she says he, referring to the bird of course, glanced with rapid eyes that hurried all around. Okay, so you've got no punctuation interrupts the line here, it flows right in, and you may see that as a reinforcement of the beauty of nature. Okay, so that's something to do with language that we might want to discuss in our answer. In terms of imagery, we have imagery in this poem to represent life and God's creation. Okay, so we've got the reference to dew and grass. We've got real, the idea of the earth and all things natural being a creation of God, being there, available to us to use, to consume. Okay, and we've got obviously interesting that she's decided to capitalise dew and grass, so that sort of elevates the importance of nature, which could link quite neatly into the beauty of nature if we go back to our themes. Okay, in terms of verse form points, I've decided then to look at her use of punctuation, and if you remember, if we talk about caesura, this is when within one line you've got this use of punctuation that interrupts the flow. So for example, in the line here she says, referring to the bird again, like one in danger, cautious. Okay, so got the idea that the bird's movements are very nervous, very jerky, very cautious. Okay, and we can see that that has been emphasised through the use of the comma there, through the use of caesura, the punctuation within the line. Okay, moving now to possible points of comparison. We may want to, this fits in nicely with the poem What Mystery Pervades the World. You've got the idea of mystery and curiosity. And then a natural comparison, an obvious choice would be comparing nature to In a Narrow Fellow. So when you do come to revise this poem, try and revise it in conjunction with the poems that slot nicely in terms of comparison. Okay? And then last of all, always a good idea to have sort of a thesis statement in mind that you might want to use to build your answer. So you might want to talk about an interesting perspective to take would be that Dickinson finds comfort in nature, okay? And you might want to talk about how she is intrigued and curious about nature. And you may want to set that off with a comparison in terms of how, although in some poems, such as I Felt a Funeral in My Brain, there's a lot of anguish and angst connected to dying and pain, in this poem we've got more of a release of joy and curiosity of the world around us. Okay, so that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.